Hello viewers, today we will discuss about Indian Penal Code Chapter 2 General Explanations. Definitions in the code to be understood subject to exceptions. Throughout this code, every definition of an offence, every penal provision and every illustration of every such definition or penal provision shall be understood subject to the exceptions contained in the chapter entitled General Exceptions, though these exceptions are not repeated in such definition, penal provision, or illustration. Illustrations. The sections in this code which contain definitions of offences do not express that a child under 7 years of age cannot commit such offences, but the definitions are to be understood subject to the general exception which provides that nothing shall be an offence which is done by a child under 7 years of age. A police officer without warrant apprehends that who has committed murder here is not guilty of the offence of wrongful confinement, for he was bound by law to apprehend that, and therefore the case fails within the general exception which provides that nothing is an offence which is done by a person who is bound by law to do it. Number 7. Sense of expression once explained. Every expression which is explained in any part of this code is used in every part of this code in conformity with the explanation. Number 8. Gender. The pronoun he and its derivatives are used of any person whether male or female. Number 9. Number. Unless the contrary appears from the context, words importing the singular number include the plural number, and words importing the plural number include the singular number. Number 10. Man and woman. The word man denotes a male human being of any age. The word woman denotes a female human being of any age. Number 11. Person. The word person includes any company or association or body of persons, whether incorporated or not. Number 12. Public. The word public includes any class of the public or any community. Number 13. Queen. Read by the AO 1950. Number 14. Servant of government. The word servant of government denotes any officer or servant continued, appointed or employed in India or under the authority of government. Number 15. British India. Read by the AO 1937. Number 16. Government of India. Read by the AO 1937. Number 17. Government. The word government denotes the central government or the government of a state. Number 18. India. India means the territory of India excluding the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Number 19. Judge. The word judge denotes not only every person who is officially designated as a judge, but also every person who is empowered by law to give, in any legal proceeding, civil or criminal, a definitive judgment or a judgment which, if not appealed against, would be definitive, or a judgment which is confirmed by some other authority would be definitive, or who is one of a body or persons, which body of persons is empowered by law to give such a judgment. Illustrations. A collector exercising jurisdiction in a suit under Act 10-2, 1859 is a judge. A magistrate exercising jurisdiction in respect of a charge on which he has power to sentence to fine or imprisonment with or without appeal is a judge. A member of a panchayat which has power under Regulation 7 1816 of the Madras Code to try and determine suits is a judge. A magistrate exercising jurisdiction in respect of a charge on which he has power only to commit for trial to another court is not a judge. Number 20. Court of Justice. The words Court of Justice denote a judge who is empowered by law of act judicially alone, or a body of judges which is empowered by law to act judicially as a body when such judge or body of judges is acting judicially. Illustration: a panchayat acting under Regulation 7 (1816) of the Madras Code, having power to try and determine suits, is a court of justice. Number 21. Public servant. The words public servant denotes a person falling under any of the descriptions hereinafter following, namely: first, omitted; second, every commissioned officer in the military, naval, or air forces of India; third, every judge, including any person empowered by law to discharge, whether by himself or as a member of any body of persons, any adjudicatory functions; fourth, every officer of a court of justice, including a liquidator, receiver, or commissioner, whose duty it is as such officer to investigate or report on any matter to law or fact, or to make, authenticate, or keep any document, or to take charge or dispose of any property, or to execute any judicial process, or to administer any oath, or to interpret or to preserve order in the court; and every person specially authorized by a court of justice to perform any of such duties. Fifth, every juryman, assessor, or member of a panchayat assisting a court of justice or public servant. Sixth, every arbitrator or other person to whom any cause or matter has been referred for decision or report by any court of justice or by any other competent public authority. Seventh, every person who holds any office by virtue of which he is empowered to place or keep any person in confinement. Number 8. Every officer of the government whose duty it is as such officer to prevent offences, to give information of offences, to bring offenders to justice, or to protect the public health, safety, or convenience. Ninth, every officer whose duty it is as such officer to take, receive, keep, or expend any property on behalf of the government, or to make any survey, assessment, or contract on behalf of the government, or to execute any revenue process, or to investigate or to report on any matter affecting the pecuniary interest of the government, or to make, authenticate to authenticate or keep any document relating to the pecuniary interest of the government, or to prevent the infraction of any law for the protection of the pecuniary interests of the government. 10th, every officer whose duty it is as such officer to take, receive, keep, or expend any property, to make any survey or assessment, or to levy any rate or tax for any secular common purpose of any village, town, or district, or to make, authenticate, or keep any document for the ascertaining of the rights of the people of any village, town, or district. 11th, every person who holds any office in virtue of which he is empowered to prepare, publish, maintain, or revise an electoral roll, or to conduct an election or part of an election. 12th, every person in the service or pay of the government or remunerated by fees or commission for the performance of any public duty by the government. In the service or pay of a local authority, a corporation established by or under a central, provincial or state act or a government company as defined in section 617 of the Companies Act 1956. Illustration: a municipal commissioner is a public servant. Explanation 1. Persons failing under any of the above descriptions are public servants, whether appointed by the government or not. Explanation 2. Wherever the words public servant occur, they shall be understood of every person who is in actual possession of the situation of a public servant, whatever legal defect there may be in his right to hold that situation. Explanation 3. The word election denotes an election for the purpose of selecting members of any legislative, municipal, or other public authority of whatever character. The method of selection to which is by or under by law prescribed as by election. State Amendment, State of Rajasthan. In Section 21 of the Indian Penal Code 1860, Central Act 45 of 1860 in its application to the state of Rajasthan, after clause 12 the following new clause shall be added, namely 13. Every person employed or engaged by any public body in the conduct and supervision of any examination recognized or approved under any law. Explanation: the expression public body includes a university, board of education, or other body either established by or under a central or state act or under the provisions of the Constitution of India or constituted by the government, and a local authority. Wide Rajasthan Act 1993 4 to 1993 Section 2. Number 22. Movable property. The words movable property are intended to include corporeal property of every description except land and things attached to the earth or permanently fastened to anything which is attached to the earth. Number 3. Wrongful gain. Wrongful gain is gain by unlawful means of property which the person gaining is not legally entitled. Wrongful loss. Wrongful loss is the loss by unlawful means of property to which the person losing it is legally entitled. Gaining wrongfully, losing wrongfully. A person is said to gain wrongfully when such person retains wrongfully as well as when such person acquires wrongfully. A person is said to lose wrongfully when such person is wrongfully kept out of any property as well as when such person is wrongfully deprived of property. Number 24. Dishonesty. Dishonestly, whoever does anything with the intention of causing wrongful gain to one person or wrongful loss to another person is said to do that thing dishonestly. Number 25. Fraudulently. A person is said to do a thing fraudulently if he does that thing with intent to defraud but not otherwise. Number 26. Reason to believe. A person is said to have reason to believe a thing if he has sufficient cause to believe that thing but not otherwise. Number 27. Property in possession of wife, clerk or servant. When property is in the possession of a person's wife, clerk or servant on account of that person, it is in that person's possession within the meaning of this code. Explanation: a person employed temporarily or on a particular occasion in the capacity of a clerk or servant is the clerk or servant within the meaning of this section.